Precision move, sharp and clean. Living life on this money machine. Scalp in seconds, slicing fast. Ride the wave, don't let it pass. Green and red, they set the tone. Win or lose, I'm in the zone. Trade the dots, connect the line. Profits calling, it's my time. Precision moves, sharp and clean. Living life on this money machine. Every tick's a heartbeat loud. High stakes play, I'm feeling proud. Risk and thrill, it's all the same. One more trade to up my game. Pivots turn, I'm locked and sure. Cut the losses, keep it pure. Every trend, I see the clues. I'll ride the highs and dodge the blues. Trade the dots, connect the line. Profits calling, it's my time. Precision moves, sharp and clean. Living life on this money machine. Eyes locked on the glowing screen. Numbers flash like a fever dream. Charts align like stars in space. Fingers twitch, it's a digital race. Trade the dots, connect the line. Profits calling, it's my time. Precision move, sharp and clean. Living life on this money machine. Scalp in seconds, slicing fast. Ride the wave, don't let it pass. Green and red, they set the tone. Win or lose, I'm in the zone. Trade the dots, connect the line. Profits calling, it's my time. Precision moves, sharp and clean. Living life on this money machine. Every tick's a heartbeat loud. High stakes play, I'm feeling proud. Risk and thrill, it's all the same. One more trade to up my game.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Somebody give me a sound check. Let me know if you guys hear me okay. If the audio is good, video is good. Let me see what you guys are doing over here. All right. Let me see. It looks good on the vid. Very nice. Let me just refresh this. Okay. Awesome. Oh, good. Good morning, guys. Good morning, everybody. I just missed an entry trade right over here. That was distracted as usual. All right, marathon Wednesday. We're just gonna really focus on trading today. We're gonna do my my structure on both YM and NASDAQ. So before we start, let me just kind of review what we're going to be doing and how we're going to be doing it. We're basically trading. What is this? Okay. We're going to be trading the following thing. We're trading NASDAQ on my trading view charts. We're going to trade YM on my wealth charts. Now, the interesting thing is that I passed all my eval tests. So all the accounts now are all funded accounts. So we have 3 funded accounts in wealth charts. We have 5 funded accounts in NASDAQ, in trading, in Trade-Evade. And we're going to trade the $25,000 funded accounts in both trades with the following size. I'm going to change the size to, we're going to go from the E-mini Dow to the micro Dow, because now we're going to go to MYMU, micro Dow. We're going to save that layout. I'm going to trade that with a 1030 tick on the Dow. And hopefully we're going to be able to put all of our execution skills into practice. So let me walk you through the game plan I'm going to have for all the funded accounts. Yep, I'm early. We're trading Marathon Wednesday, 8 to maybe noon. So hopefully everybody's going to come join us, trade with us, get to see lots and lots of different price actions. So first, let's get through the basics of what I'm going to do. I'll put this in text. On NASDAQ, on NQ, first of all, let's just do MNQ because that's really what I'm trading. I'm trading MNQ. Let me move this around. Can I grab this? Okay. MNQ, 2 micros. 2, right? I'm trading 2 micros on MNQ. That's my starting position. The take profit stop is 20 by 60. That's the opening trade. If we drop, this is to the long side. If we drop -5 or +5 if we're on the short side, we open second position at two more micro lots with the following: TP 28 by 20. No, by 40. Sorry, by 40. 28 by 40. So 7 target, 10 stop. So the stops are going to be the exact same. And what we're going to do is we're going to move the target on the first one to close the second one, and that's going to give us basically that's going to do eventually, theoretically, that's going to convert a 1 to 3 trade into a 1 to 2 trade if that happens. Okay, that's it. That's what we're doing. How come none of this printed? All right, here it is. Okay, so that's what we're doing as a structure. And then all we're going to do for YM is the exact same thing, except our stops and targets will be 1030, and then there'll be 1515, okay, on the entries. That's it. No, it does not work for FTMO. Casio, I want you to right now forget FTMO and go, well, it depends. I mean, where are you trading from? If you're trading from Europe, you can easily buy an Apex trading account and start trading futures, which is what I want you to do. This is not a strategy for CFD products. This is a strategy for futures only. That's what we do. Oh, you're from Mozambique? Okay, sorry. Then you will you'll have to do, you could try to modify it for FTMO, but you know, I will have a solution for you for a CFD product very soon, probably next week, I think, as a matter of fact, because our CFD partner DNA Funding is going to we're going to be able to put the exact same indicator on both of them. Anyways, that's the basic idea. And then if I get stopped out, I'm just going to go to a new account. I'm not gonna double up right away. I'm going to go to a new account and basically not repair that trade for a little while, and only put myself into a repair position if I have a lot of confidence in the repair trade. The repair trades are very, very easy because of this particular sizing. The repair trade is basically one mini NASDAQ, one mini YM as your starting trade. So you basically go from 2 micros to 1 minis as the next jump on the repair trades. Yeah, the best way to keep in contact, my friend, is subscribe to the channel. Every time you subscribe to the channel, attend our lives like everybody else in the room here. Everybody in the room who's not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. We do this live every single day, and we do marathon trading every Wednesday. You're going to see more trades in a day than you're going to see in a month on any other YouTube channel. And that's going to give you a tremendous amount of learning and ability to understand exactly what we're doing. Anyways, those of you guys who are with me, who understand the strategy, this is the strategy. I'm just laying it out for you. That's what we're going to be doing all day long today. I'll come back to this. I wonder if I could, maybe we'll just put this back somewhere off the charts so then I can remember it and I can bring it back to you guys later. So anyways, what am I looking at? Here's the only thing that really matters in terms of our setup, right? You know that I made a very public announcement that I'm going to trade only trend-based strategies. So essentially, every trend, all you see here is just trend-based trades coming up from me on NASDAQ. This was a trade that we should have taken. I was just simply talking, so I didn't take it. Same thing on the YM. Just trend-based trades. Everything is positive bid this morning. Yesterday was negative bid. Today is positive bid. So we'll see how long that develops. But here's the thing that I really, really kind of want to stress for you. What we're really seeking, this is where the strategy shines. And I'll show you also the flip side of it, where the strategy really gets destroyed. All we're seeking, ultimately, what's really important to us is trend is number one. Yes, that's great. But what's even more important than that is duration. If we can catch an hour of positive green slope on the 8-period SMA, if we could just catch 1 hour, we're guaranteed to make money, right? All we need is just duration in trend, and we're ready to go. We basically can't lose. Even half an hour duration, this is 6:50 to 7:16, 20 minutes of duration gives us positive trades, right? We just need duration. What we absolutely can't stand is 10 minutes of red followed by 10 minutes of green by 10 minutes of basically chop and slope. Whether slope and chop and slope, slope and chop. My little daughter was in Mary Poppins, so now like I have all of the Mary Poppins songs in my head. So that's going to be my version of Mary Poppins, chop and slop and chop and pop. But that's what that's really the key thing to watch and to understand. Which is why if you guys are kind of find yourself trading on very, very low liquidity times when nothing is really moving and everything like that, and you get yourself frustrated, or even the beginning of the U.S. Open, the first half hour of the U.S. Open tends to be very non-directional. That's why the best hour is usually 11 o'clock in the morning, 10:30 to 11:30. We generally almost always have at least half hour to an hour of duration, right? Now, and what I mean by that is that even if frankly, duration is even more important than trend, because a half hour of this duration would have also made us money. But I've just sort of decided that trading it's hard enough to get direction and duration. When you're trading counter trend, you're already always putting direction at risk because it could always be just a retrace and a comeback. That it's not worth it. It's just worth it to concentrate on the greens when we're to the upside. concentrates on the reds when we're downside. That definitely worked for me super well yesterday. As I said, I funded the last of my eval accounts, and then I ran. Remember, I told you this one was around 25, like 8 when I saw you guys. It's over 26, so now it's over 26. I'm actually turning my attention to this one, which is a little bit under 26. Let's see how much we can run and gun this one for. And in the meantime, these are all fresh, spanking new ones on what do we have? 25, just really starting accounts, right? So 18 this. So we'll just start. I know we'll start with the. I don't care. We'll start with this one. Start with the 11, and see what we can do with with these accounts. Actually, you know what? You'll know this is all correct. Yeah, it's all correct. Actually, no, I need to do MYU. MYMU. Sorry. Okay. God, I hate the control function. Okay, cool. All right, so that's wealth charts. That's trading view. That's what's going on. No, at YM, it's going to be plus 10. Everything in YM is twice the NASDAQ. So it's a 1030 versus 515. The entry is minus 10 versus minus 5. Super easy, right? Super easy to kind of keep it in that mind, right? If you keep those ratios, I don't have any. I'm not trading ES. We're gonna just, as I said, we're gonna cut the shit of trying to trade every instrument in the world just to satisfy everybody else's trading. You guys figure it out on the ones that you want to trade, because the number one lesson of live trading is focus on no more than 2 instruments, right? So we're gonna diffuse our focus. There'll be days, what we'll do is instead of like trading 4 instruments in a day, we'll just dedicate a day to trading gold and ES. No problem. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow. If you want to alternate, today we trade NASDAQ and Dow. Tomorrow we trade gold and ES. That's fine. That's going to be the production going forward, because that's the best way to behave. So we're not going to just give in to entertainment. We're going to actually try to do the best. We're going to try to trade as close to what I do in real life as opposed to YouTube bullshit, in order to give you guys the best idea of how to win. Okay, and that's part of the rules. What time is it? It's 8:15. Let me just see if there's anything on. I don't know what we have on the deck today as far as news. Nothing. We're really basically just waiting till FOMC on Friday. We got Dick All, as I said yesterday, which our friend Marvin interpreted as Dig All. So that's it. We sit tight. We wait for ideas. Any questions? This is a great time, guys. Ask me anything you like. Ask me what's on your mind. Let me also put together my coaching link, because those of you guys who are new want access to this indicator, want access to all of the trading, because you can't trade without this indicator, and you can't get this indicator without coaching. So here's the coaching link, which I just put up here. Go out there and get it. You buy this, I'm actually going to give you back $97, which you can then go out there and buy Apex accounts with. You can buy the Apex accounts with. So it's a great deal. Just go do it. I already took care of everybody who came in last week, and we have more new people coming in this week. What's really cool about this, by the way, is somebody from last week who just joined our coaching is already very, very close to getting her account passed, which is really nice to see. That's very, very fast. Usually it takes a couple of months to learn how to do this. So I think we're getting our rule sets much easier. The indicator is much easier to manage, and the rules are much easier to follow to make it easy for you guys to pass the prompts. Good morning, everybody. Who's new in the show? Who's new to live trade today? Come say hello to me. Thank you, Dr. D. Your check's in the mail, my friend. Thank you. Who's new in the room here, guys? Say hello to me. Tell me where you guys trading from. Casio is new here. He's from Mozambique. Who else? There's got to be a ton of people who are new. Don't be shy. Say hello. Tell us what you're trading. Tell us what you want to learn. Ask me any questions you guys like. I'm happy to answer whatever we have. We're chilling. We're waiting for trend-based trades. It's relatively quiet. Markets are only like what 20, 30 basis off the highs. Although we are positive territory here, positive bid. Hey, Trade Smart. Hello from Chicago. Nice. Andy G from London. Nice to see you. Good to have you guys around. And Toronto. All right. Beautiful. Thank you, Dr. D. Are you saying you mean you could not pass 10 Apex prop without it, right? Without coaching? That's what you mean. I know what you mean. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Appreciate it, Dr. D. Ali, specifically, which label are you talking about? Are you talking about the buy-sell labels? They're pretty explanatory. I'll show you, the mechanics of this in a bit. I'll show you the basic rule set. Okay, so Ali's like passed about 1,000 props, and he's trading all funded accounts. But he's asking the basic question because I think he's probably wants everybody else who's in the room who's new to try to understand what we do. And I'm going to give you the full layout since it's relatively quiet. We don't have any triggers right now. I'm going to give you the full layout of exactly what we do. Right now, you're looking at the NASDAQ chart, okay? And the first and foremost thing that we're looking at is trend. Trend is defined by 200 period. This is a 2-minute chart. We trade 2-minute chart. 200 period SMA, simple moving average, 8. 8 over 200. It's completely arbitrary. Don't worry about it. It's just a long-term moving average and a short-term moving average. You can use whatever you want. We use this because it just gives us a general direction of trend. That's all we really want. There is no magic formula. There's no magic values. You just want long against short. Then within the short trend, there's lots of interesting information that the indicator is conveying to us. First of all, the 8-period moving average changes colors depending on whether it's rising or falling. So it's changing colors based upon its slope. So if there's buyers and it's rising, it's green. If there's sellers and it starts to fall, it's red, right? So we're only, and the other thing that the information is giving us is if the price closes above the 8-period SMA, doesn't matter whether it's a standard candle. This is our candle. Our candle it's a green candle. If you hold the price above 8 SMA, there's buying. If you hold the price below SMA, there's selling. It's just pressure and momentum, right? So we have positive momentum when it's green, negative momentum when it's red, right? Then we turn our attention to the dots. The dots tell you, am I closing below the low of the prior candle? Every time I'm closing below the low of the prior candle, I have a dot. That means I have a lot of momentum to the downside. I have a lot of momentum to the upside. Same thing, to the upside. If the dot is purple rather than red, all that means is, yes, I'm closing below the momentum, but I'm coming off a higher low. If the dot is white, it means, yes, I'm closing above the high of the prior candle, but I'm coming off a lower high because the last green was over here, and now this is a much lower green. So it's just giving you a warning that you're coming off a lower high. That's all it is. So that's all the color coding that we do, right? And then we have the trigger labels, and there's two types of trigger labels that we're trading. The first trigger label is what we call the Christmas tree trigger label, and that's basically either a red or a green. What the fuck is this right here? Green, like green red, little banner over here. That occurs in two conditions. If I have consecutive candles. They have to be one after the other. Purple, red, that's a red Christmas tree. White, green, that's a green Christmas tree. That's the only requirement for that particular setup, right? Now, and that's fine. So let's just leave that alone. Then we have the second setup, which is a lot more granular, which is what we call the buy-sell setup. The buy-sell setup says, hey, what we're looking for is a pause and a momentum explosion. And the way we define that is obviously on the, to the upside in positive trend. We need three things to happen for that buy signal to happen. We need a green 8-period SMA. I'm giving you the buy signal, so it's got to be green period. The SMA has to be green. Slope has to be positive, right? The prior candle to the buy one cannot have a dot. That means it's not a lot of momentum on the prior candle. The current candle does have a dot. So if you think about this, it's a positive trend, and we have a breakout move, and then we're going to buy the breakout move. That's really all it's doing in its glory, right? Now, the indicator can actually go both ways. So even if the trend is positive, we can generate sell labels if we say both. If we just say both, right? So as you can see over here, the sell labels are pretty successful, right? But the reason the sell labels are successful is because of the original thing that I told you, duration. If you happen to catch a counter trend, because in this case it's a sell trend in an upward trend that lasts for half an hour, you are assured of making money. We're guaranteed our signals will always make money in that situation, but that's a big if. So what I have decided is, especially because when I looked at my trading, and I realized that almost all losing cycle trades, not losing trades, but losing cycle trades, started with counter trend trades. We talked a lot about this yesterday, where we're taking a cue from addiction repair therapies. We'll talk a little bit about that, how trading is very much like drug addiction, and you need to manage it the exact same way. Where is this thing? I decided we're going to remove any counter trend labels for us and only trade trend-based ideas. What I mean by a losing cycle is I trade a counter trend trade, I lose it, and then I try to press it and try to recover it, and it craters me into a losing cycle, and I lose the account. Okay, every account I have lost started with me making a mistake on a counter trend trade. Okay, that's literally all I mean. Sound is good for everybody. If you guys lost sound, just log in, log out. I think everybody's clear, right? Everybody's good. So one of the things that you're seeing here, as far as like why we're not getting labels, is because the actual slope of the 8-period SMA is changing. Like we don't have enough momentum. It's really not. It's not keeping up. The buying pressure is kind of waning, right? It's almost like water pressure. Is dipping, coming back, dipping, coming back. It's going this green, red, green, red. So we don't really have a lot of signals. Had this stayed all green, this actually would have been a signal. This would have been a buy signal because we had a little bit of a breakout. But one of the great things about this indicator is that its rules keep you out of mediocre trades for the most part. Its rules is what keep you under mediocre trades, as long as you stay disciplined to its entry structures, right? So, any questions on the broad, general approach of how we trade? I'm happy to answer anything right now. We're just watching price action, not much going on. So I'm happy to talk strategy with you guys, and then I'm happy to talk psychology as well. So let me know. I know there's a lot of new people here. Anybody who's new, the Trade Smart, London guy, Andrew G. Is it clear to you guys? Give me a yes. Give me a no. I'm happy to explain. Um, sorry, eight figures. What instrument and what are you trying to do? Trade Smart gets it. Andrew G gets it. There are no trades in the moment. You see, we don't have any trades. Like you'll see the moment we make a trade, it will be you'll see it on the screen. We're just we have no signals. There was a trade here that I just just before the show started, I missed the entry, so there's no trades. So no, we don't trade market open strategies. We have a continuous strategy that trades all the market the whole time, and the only thing we don't do is we don't trade 925 to 935 because that is almost always a fake out move. So you want to do 4 points profit, 10 point stop loss. I think you have to always start eight figures with a 1-3 and then try to maybe squeeze it a little bit lower. You can give it a shot. I mean, I just think I've seen so many times where NQ goes 10 against you and then goes in your favor. Like the whole point is, remember, you're trying to manage the retrace risk, right? There's always that thin blue line between retrace risk and retrace and stop out catastrophe, right? So to me, the thin blue line is a 1-2-3 risk. It was 1-4, and I realized that 1-2-3 is okay as long as we can come in on a secondary thing to resolve it. We actually have a very reasonable chance. I think when you're getting to that 4-10, give it a shot. Maybe you'll hit. Maybe if you're trading pure trend, very very selective trades, you might be able to survive the 10 risk. Although as I'm looking at this chart over here, you're coming in at 30, right? And you're coming in at 35, and I think this thing comes down to 25. It literally just takes you out of 10, and then makes you money. And remember, that's very expensive. It's very expensive to be just stopped out and go to profit, because that's our whole idea is to go to profit as many times as possible. So you have to, I think it's got to be a 4-12 structure, which is fine. I think 10 points on NASDAQ almost always stops you out. There's just such a wide, retrace move on NASDAQ, unless you're hitting pure trend. You have that 30-minute, 40-minute duration where everything is just boom, boom, boom trend. You're good. But that's in a way, again, that's an approach where you could say, I'm just going to trade 1 hour of Boris's dot strategy on a pure momentum basis. I'm going to assume that hour is just going to, whatever trend it takes, it's going to stay in that trend for an hour. I'm going to bang away 4 or 5 trades and be done. That's a good approach. But one, you got to isolate that hour that you think that's going to happen, and two, it's got to happen for you. Not even if you say 11 hours, the good hour, not every day do you have duration in that hour. And by duration, I mean where it stays solidly green or solidly red for 45 minutes or more. That's what we really want. And obviously, if you could predict that, you'd be a billionaire. The point is, you just want to find the highest probabilistic possibilities when that occurs, because everything we do is in subservience to that particular assumption, to the assumption of continuity, right? So it almost, if you get that right, you almost don't have to worry about anything else, within reason. So we have a Christmas tree to the downside, and it's an upside trend. And you notice I'm not doing a thing about it, right? However, NASDAQ is starting to turn down to the downside. This trade would have actually worked, which is fine. But we're now, maybe preparing ourselves for a possible downtrend signal, in which case we'll be taking sell signals instead of buy signals. So it's all, it's all interesting. It's all information. This is, very often the counter trend signal that works is a sign that there's a that we're in a transitional moment from one trend to the next trend. On NASDAQ, it would be 4 times 12, which is 48. Any questions from anybody, guys? Everybody clear? We're chilling out. It's 8:30 in the morning. We got an hour before the market open. We're going to trade the open very hopefully actively when we get the signals, and that's it. I'm watching Dow out of the corner of my eye on my other screen just to see what this situation is. We don't have any signals on the Dow either, and we're just putzing around. Here's my coaching link. As I said, the great thing about coaching is if you're interested in forex, you get all of Kathy's forex totally for free, included in the whole thing. Her signals, her course, the way she trades, her indicators, all of that is part of the coaching. So it's a really, really good deal. I'm going to put the link in here again. See if there's anything on Twitter. Who's Lisa Cook? Is she somebody on the Fed? Oh, I guess she's the governor of the Fed. Oh, it's another mortgage fraud scandal. Okay, now I understand what's going on here. I was like, what the hell? I didn't even know who the hell this person was a second ago. All right, let's see if there's any like interesting news going on over here. Okay. So it's typical bullshit on drop fourth day is momentum unwind. Yeah, I kind of feel that's actually kind of true. I do think we have a little bit of momentum unwind. I think, again, I never make, my predictions are pure guesses. Nobody knows what's going to happen. My vibe is that we're probably going to go 23.2, maybe even go 23,000 today. And if that's the case, that's obviously going to be very favorable for us because it's going to give us directionality and duration. But from here to there, we'll have to see. It's wishful thinking for now. Dustin, the two best sizes is 25 and 50. Right now, you can go for the larger size. A lot of people love to go for larger size. Up to you. 50 is the sweet spot. 25 has a 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio. So you need to make 1,500 and risk 1,500. 50 gives you a little bit bigger space. You got to make 3 against 2,500, almost 1-to-1. Once you start getting bigger, the odds go against you. You have to make like 5 risk 3. You have to make 9 risk 4, that kind of stuff. But when you do get funded, you have a much bigger account. So it's really up to you. My whole argument is you never want to buy 1. You always want to buy at least 3 on the opening. Generally 4. You want to have even number accounts. And then trust me, you'll need them very quickly either as offset accounts where you want to trade one instrument one way, one instrument the other way, or just because you're gonna burn one or two because you're experimenting. But the best accounts on Apex, we can look at Apex, guys. We got nothing else going on over here. Let's look at Apex. The best accounts, and of course here. Let me show you. Let me just show you the whole login process. I'm going to log in. Give me just 1 sec. I got to do authentication. I'm actually logging in not into our corporate account, but into our into my personal account, which is like just like you. I pay the money. I eat the dog food. Every one of these accounts that you see me trading, I actually paid money for. 656 002. Okay, let's see if we get in there. Okay, cool. So the way to buy this, you can go to Wealth Charts. You can go 25 or 50. Let's just say you're going to do a 50,000 Wealth Charts account, right? You're going to very important to say BK Save. You got to use that, otherwise you don't get the discount. And then you blah blah blah. Come on over here. Then you hit this. Please check next. And the moment that happens, you get a huge discount, right? It goes to $33. That's your discount. Just put in your credit card and you're fine. If you want to buy Tradeovate, same thing, 50,000. You're going to say, again, BK Save. And then you're going to scroll down. You're going to say, check this and next. I think Tradeovate is just a tad bit more expensive. Yeah, it's $37, but not much of expensive, like $3 to $4 difference. Tradeovate integrates with TradingView, right? These are all Tradeovate accounts, and Wealth Trust has its own really clean platform. So I have a sell signal on the Dow, and tempted as I am to want to take this because we clearly have a downward trend. You really, again, I'm not going to do this because it's not in trend. We're still above trend on the Dow, right? This is a sell signal on the Dow. You can see it over here on the Dow. Almost, it disappeared. What happened to my? Wait, what happened here? Why is? That's weird. Oh, I know why. Oh, I know why. I literally took out the sell signals. It's not showing me because I'm only letting it show me trend-based signals. This is all part of me not being seduced by the counter trend trades. That's literally what I'm doing because on my other chart I had them showing me both. Yeah, we had a great Asia session last night. That was a lot of fun. Yes, it's a huge discount. That's why it's very, very important that I educate you guys on a discount. I do not copy trade them, Dustin. Copy trading is a very, very advanced art. Copy trading is the equivalent of you driving your Chevy Malibu and trying to turn it into a Chevy Corvette. Is that a right analogy? I guess so. And right now we're in driving school. We're learning how to drive. We just need to make sure that we don't get stopped over by the cops for bad driving. So everybody who decides, hey, I just got my driver's license, I'm going to get into a Corvette, go 200 miles an hour, you pretty much know exactly what's going to happen to those people. So no, we're not copy trading. Okay. I'm new backtesting. Can you show a sample backtest on the strategy? Hey, my friend Droopy, did you not see my tweet? Let me educate you, my friend. Let's go to my tweets. Okay. Hey, let's go to my feed. Let me show you. Let me show you my view on backtesting. Okay, let's go to my profile. I want you to read this really, really carefully. Here's my tweet. What does that say to you? Okay, Droopy. Oh, that's yeah. We're obviously going to talk about this in coaching, but just blowing 3 accounts is nothing, right? That's why it's great with Apex. They're $30 accounts. It's not a lot of money. You got to mentally kind of think. I got to give myself at least 10 eval accounts before I kind of get the whole thing right. Right? Nothing in life is instantaneously done well, right? And sometimes it's just not your fault. Sometimes the market goes against you. Sometimes things go. Oh, we got a Christmas tree coming up on Nasdaq. So let's watch it. 45 seconds left. So this is a legit buy. We're in buy trend. It's kind of like, who's it? Santiago was asking me, is this a legit trade? It is a legit trade. The 8 is above the 200, right? So it's as legit as we can try to make it. So I'm waiting to see if the candle completes and if it holds, if the pattern holds. Six seconds left on the clock. 3 seconds left on the clock. 1 second left on the clock. Christmas tree is legit. We're in here at 21 to 26. So if it comes down to 15, I'm going to try and get a little bit more on a 28.40 basis. If it comes down, let's see if it wants to play. So those of you guys who are asking me, are we in trade? This is how you see in trade. We see everything we show you is very clear and very much on the charts. That's why we trade from the charts. You can see instantaneously that I'm in trade. I tell you that I'm going to go in trade. I tell you what we're going to do, and you can literally see easily the markings on a trade. If you want to read the chart in trading view, this is the target. The red thing is the target. This is the stop. That's how you know you're oriented in the trade. And hope that's pretty clear. Very quiet market. Jesus, we're like not exactly flying off the handle here. Yeah, we have Fed minutes today, but the real big thing is going to be Jackson Hole, which honestly, I don't even know if Jackson Hole is going to be like that big a thing. Look, it's August, so we have to temper our expectations at how much. I'm actually surprised at how much really good movement we had yesterday. We had like a 1.5% move, and there was a lot of duration in there. And remember what I said about duration is the key here, right? Today, this looks very, very limp, very, very limp. Anyways, okay, so I'm watching this trade. If it comes down to 16 bid, I'm gonna put in a second position and try to repair this trade on a retrace. But unless it does that, we're just standing quietly watching it trade. You guys want to see? You want to see the actual DOM? Here's the position on the DOM. Here's our exit over here. You can just kind of see it a little bit better on the thing. See if we can see if they can lift us. So one of the things that for those of you guys who never have traded futures, this is a good way to show you how futures are traded. So first of all, there's a centralized order book, right? All the bids are on the left, all the offers are on the right. And the way the centralized order book works is first come, first serve. If I'm the highest bid, right? We were in at 21.50. The bid now is 25.50. The highest bid wins the the price. It doesn't matter if you're one contract against a million contracts from Citadel. And we're almost there. You know what? I'm gonna take this out. Fuck this. It's a wonky little trade. Although now as I'm looking at it, we might be getting a buy signal. Anyways, I took it almost at target because I've seen this price action so many friggin' times early morning where we're wobbling, trying to get to target. But anyways, what I was going to show you is the cool thing is, had I really held on, which I would have gotten my target done, I would have been swept on the offer. So I would have been totally swept on the offer. So I missed $2 more, maximum $2 on my trade here. Now, here's where it gets a little tricky. And this is a very, very tough little decision that we have to make. One of the side rules that I have is we had a buy signal here, right? The buy signal worked, but it resolved on the second buy label, right? So one of the things I really don't like to do, and I'm going to probably not do it, is take a trade that TP'd on the buy label. In other words, I have a buy signal, but the prior trade actually took profit in it. It's, the buy label swept me into profit. I don't like doing that because a lot of times that creates the peak trade. In this case, it probably may not, but I'm really not. But I'm going to just sort of err on the side of caution. So if, on the other hand, if we took a buy, let's give you an idea. We got long here, and this candle completed us. We made money, and then we had this construct. I would have gone back into the trade. But the very fact that we TP'd on the buy, or a lot of times we TP on the sell, I tend to wait for the next buy to develop, to give myself a little more confidence that the setup works. But anyways, the setup worked, as you guys can see. It took a little while for us to find a trade idea. And YM Dow still doesn't have anything going on for it, but we'll let it play out. Everybody following me? Everybody kind of vibing on what's going on? I can show you how the trade. I can show you the other good thing about trading view is you can actually see the executions. So here is the execution. We came in 21. We should have waited. We actually got done half a point below our target because I got a little too greedy. But you can see it all. You can see it all happening here. I don't see the YM Christmas tree. Why do I not see the Christmas tree on YM? Maybe it was on the micro. What's the where do you see the Christmas? Oh, it had a Christmas tree on the micro, but not on the mini. I'm looking at the mini. The mini did not. That's interesting. That's interesting. Okay, so the other thing you have to understand is we're basically using. I'm using the big contract, the large, the mini contract as my signaling power, but I'm executing on the micro contract. And sometimes there is like a one tick discrepancy between the micro and the mini that can give you different signals. So for example, what you see here, Santiago, I did not have what's called the Christmas tree signal over here on the large YM. So therefore you didn't even see there was, but if you were on the small YM, you did. And you could have taken this and that would have worked fine. That would have worked totally fine on target. You would have bought this 406. Target would have been 16 with a buyback at 10. So you bought 96 over here, and it would have resolved over here. It would have done a double resolve. We'll have plenty of opportunities to trade more of this. So we'll see how it goes. But be that as it may. Why didn't I receive 3 sells at 7? Because it's against trend. I talked all about that it's against trend, right? Trend is positive. 8 is above 200. So we're literally ignoring all those sell signals, tempting as they are. You notice what's different in the last 2 days that we're doing. I'm sorry. What instrument? Again, 8 figures. If you want me to go back to the chart, tell me the instrument and tell me the timeline that you had the sells in, and I can review the chart because I can't read your mind. My stop only once, just once. I'm entering entry, 15-point stop, -5, second entry, 10-point stop. So the stops, literally the stop is the same on both lots, and then just the short exit. I trade live every day. Wednesday is our marathon day, is our marathon trading day. And just to show you guys, this may still work, but this is the reason why I don't pull the trigger, right? What do you see here? The exit was on the buy, right? And I chose not to take the trade because the exit was on the buy. Had we gone 35, the next entry would have been 30. We wouldn't have been able to resolve this trade. It didn't go up enough. Now it may still rally, but generally it looks like it's going to peter out. And that's another reason for why. I was going to say, what do you guys notice over the last couple of days we've been doing? I'm doing much less trades, but I'm doing a lot more accuracy. That's the trade-off we have in life, right? And there should be plenty of trades as we go forward if we get any kind of duration. But for now, that's what we're doing. Yeah. We trade with a very, very negative risk-reward ratio because our structure is to win 80 to 90% of our trades. Correct. Yes. By the way, that's sort of like it's a good time for us to take a look at wealth charts and understand some really, really interesting dynamics. Those of you guys who are trading wealth charts, there is this incredibly interesting, if you go into the main menu, you go into trading, you go into wealth tracker, it's there. And I'm going to just put this over here as a big signal here. Maybe I even go full screen. Let's go full screen of wealth tracker. So what's interesting about a wealth tracker is it aggregates all of the data on that platform and tells you who's winning and who is losing. So first of all, this is just positioning data, which I actually ignore because I don't really find it. Hourly trading performance, 62% of people, 6 p.m. That's really interesting. Most profitable, 2 a.m. Worst by win. What is this? Oh, that's interesting. Really? 62% at 6 p.m. I wonder if they're using Central Time, which would be 7 p.m. Here's what's interesting, by the way. Look at this. 2 a.m. When Asia closes and Europe is just about to open, very profitable piece of time for this. 24-hour performance by win rate. So the win rate is above 50% all the time except for 6 a.m. Santiago, are you listening? And 12 a.m. But this 10, 11 a.m. is actually quite good. Sorry. It doesn't show today. It doesn't show today the 10, 11 a.m. This is just today. This is just today's data on the thing. So top 50 users, they've done 1,200 trades. Basically 1-to-1 risk reward ratio on the winners. Where's the bottom 50? This is not, that's interesting. It's interesting. This data, because when I was looking at, I guess it's early, when I was looking at it on Friday, what it was showing was that the winners had a negative risk reward ratio. The losers had all positive risk reward ratio. Today, it shows different set of statistics. So take it as you can. Anyways, interesting data for you to take a look at. We trade in a very, very specific way that works very well for us. I'm gonna get rid of this. What happened here? What just happened to my whole thing? Did I just blow everything out? Okay, I'm gonna delete, log out, and come back. All right, back to reality. But yeah, I mean, for those of you who are asking, that's how we trade it. Good morning, guys. Yes, Santiago. If you don't divide the entries, I still recommend 3-to-1. I think you want to obviously cut risk as much as possible without impacting accuracy, right? It's just always that trade-off. Trade-off between winning frequently and not losing too much when you lose, right? It's like an insurance company. You got to set your premiums just high enough so that you can collect profit, right? And I think 3-to-1 is a much better R&R than a 4-to-1 most of the time. Especially if you're focusing just on pure trend trades, which is what we're trying to do right now. So, guys, again, this is like a perfect example of me being more careful on my trades, and the way we trade is we are almost assured of winning on almost all of our trades. Our job is to minimize losses, right? There are people who work on maximizing wins. That's not our strategy, because almost all of everyone, as I said to you, if we have duration, every trade that we have is going to be a winner trade. Our job is to stay out of the market when the best possible setups don't line up. When we don't get everything we want. You probably would have taken that Christmas on NQ, the red one. You're talking about this red short, but you're again, it's against trend, right? So again, you actually, if you took this down, so let's just play this around. You sell it at 20, you come back to 25, and you don't get it back. It doesn't come back down to 20. So you haven't resolved that trade. That trade is probably going to go against you. Now, on the other hand, we're getting a legit buy signal here, right? Legit buy signal. If that signal holds, we're going to be back in that trade. Because now it's it's regained power, regained momentum. We're ready to trade it. So what you're saying, Ben, is, Boris, that's good that you kept me out of that Christmas tree trade, which turned into a bullshit stop out for me if I took it, right? It's a very fine loss between profit and loss. Yeah, it is. That's the art of trading, right? The art of trading is finding that correct trade-off between getting the formula just right so you can stay consistently profitable. This is what we try and do. This is all we try and do. 21 seconds left. Barely hanging on to a buy label. So we will see. Ben, your Christmas tree short your virtual Christmas tree short may still work. You may get lucky. It looks like we gave a reversal, complete reversal. It looks like we're basically chopping with very little upward momentum, which is fine. If we go back to the YM, you guys can see the YM is now forming. It's not forming on this one because I don't have the format. But if I go to both, because I have it on my chart, you see it's forming another sell signal on YM. Nothing much going on here. So I'll leave it alone. But yeah, everything is kind of toppy, quiet. What time is it? 9:02. Half hour before the market open. We'll see how it goes out. Let's go back to NQ. Not a lot of signals here today. Good morning, everybody. New people joining in before the New York Open. Tell me where you guys are from. Tell me what you guys are doing. Tell me what you guys are trading. You know, we're chilling like a villain. There's no signals, so we're just watching price action. And, you know, I'm eating figs. Market still stays positive bid here on the slope of the 8-period SMA is still green. That's kind of interesting. It means it's still trying to hold bid. Yeah, so question Lee has if I'm going to buy signal and I get an opposing sell signal, no. So again, remember, we're now trend only, right? So if I have a buy signal and I'm in trend, it doesn't matter if I have a sell signal. The sell signal doesn't matter, right? Now, maybe in some very weird situation, you have a buy signal and then everything changes, trend changes to sell, and it changes to a sell signal. Yes, you would reverse that, but it's very rare. So as I said, on my funded accounts, 25,000. The shortcut that you want to use is the first number of the size of the account. So 25,000 is 2 equals to the amount of contracts on the micro that you want to trade. So 2 micros for 25,000, 5 micros for 50,000. That will keep you out of trouble for most of the time. Yeah, it's generally always better to hit the stop loss on reverse because that's the trick. See, that's the trigger of the. That's when we cycle into. Okay, I'm going back to my to the book that I'm reading, the More Molecule. Where is this thing? Let me find it for you, and I'll put it up here. Again, I told you, a really, really good book, best book on trading I read. Here it is. Here's the link. I'm going to give you the link to Amazon. And when you're talking about, I'm in a buy trade and then it goes sell signal and I'm going to reverse myself into a sell signal. That is almost always a gateway to blowing your account. Almost always. Because what happens is you go one way, it doesn't work. You go the other way, it doesn't work. You go a third way, it doesn't work. And now you've lost all control, right? It's the exact same equivalent of an alcoholic, saying, I'll just take one beer. It's not really alcohol. I'll just drink a beer. And then very soon spiraling into a complete blackout. As I said before, my great epiphany was that tilt is the trading term for when traders blow up their account. Tilt is the exact same physiological, neurological, biological process as the addict falling off, going off the bandwagon, as the addict going into a binge drug condition. It's the exact same neurological circuit that's controlling the dopamine circuit. Once you begin to understand that, you can begin to apply all of the techniques that they use in addiction to basically become a better trader, right? So, before everybody freaks out, I'm not saying that you're all addicts. but we all effectively, every human being, if we're going to be honest, is a dopamine addict to one degree or the other. The only difference between normal people and abnormal people is the extent of the addiction, right? So you might as well just be honest about it and learn from research of how to handle that. And that is why going from buy to sell to me is very much equivalent to the drug addict saying, I'm just going to have a beer. Okay. It's the exact same thing. Okay. Exact same thing, in my opinion. How can you, sorry, what do you mean by switching? Do you mean extending your stops, pulling your stops? Please explain so that I understand better what you mean. Oh, look at this. Dow is actually starting to rise. Let me know, Nico, what you mean. I'm happy to answer your question once it's clear. Extending afterwards. Oh, that's literally the worst thing you can do. It took me a long time, but you notice I never, ever, ever extend. Remember, we're already taking a really big stop. If you back off that stop, you're basically saying, I want to lose. You think you want to say, I don't want to lose, but what you're saying is I want to lose to yourself. You can't. I honestly, I don't have any brilliant suggestion on that. I've just sort of like stopped doing it. You got to accept this. Like, it's small size. Who gives a shit if I lose $50 on this trade, right? I'm trading small. That's the point of me trading small size. I wish I had a brilliant answer, but I don't. I just, if you stick to small size, accepting the stop is just becomes a lot easier. Anybody else in the room, happy to suggest. I'm happy to see what things you guys do, but I don't have any brilliant ideas. It took me a long time. I just simply stopped that. You guys never seen me move a stop, right? I haven't done that in years. That's like, I think that's probably the number one skill you need to learn is you never move the stop. The best way to sort of not be afraid of that is, first of all, who gives a shit if you get stopped out? It's, these are all sim accounts, even if they're funded accounts. Well, when you're coming to funded accounts, it's even all more important to control your sizes, because the most important thing with the funded account is not to win, but not to lose, right? Again, if you stay alive in the funded account, maybe it'll take you a couple of months, but you will bring it back and you will pay it out. But if you kill it, that's it. You killed it. You got to go right back to eval, and you got to go back to the whole cycle all over again. So the much more important part about funded accounts is to keep them alive rather than to keep them winning. Winning is literally a secondary act. Winning is a function of you choosing good trades, right? And not doing stupid trades. But if you're going to do stupid trades, then the second most important thing is not to lose the account. This is a great question for a poll. A lot of people in the room. Do you ever move your stops? Answer this honestly, you bastards. Let me know. I'm actually curious. How many people do this? Like how they have in AA, they say, hi, my name is John, and I'm an addict or I'm an alcoholic, right? I think if you move your stops, you need to say, hi, my name is John, and I'm a degenerate trader, and I move my stops. until you actually physically accept that, you can't come to terms with it. So lots of interesting questions here. Sometimes gold didn't work out, but this morning it's been going up and up and up. Yeah, gold is actually, look at this. I'm ignoring gold, but gold has been look at gold. Holy shit, gold's been a great trade today. Should have traded gold today, but we're trading that. We're not going to change our stuff on the thing. You did it today. You moved your stops. Wow. Holy shit. Look at you guys. So many of you guys move your stops. That's literally, I'm shocked. You're like, guys, you never see me move your stops. Wow, that's really interesting. That's super interesting. I had no idea. So that's an interesting takeaway from everybody in the group. Thank you for being. I think that's being honest. Yeah. Oh my God. That's literally. It's funny. So the number one thing to not do. Forget all the shit I ever told you. The number one thing to not do is move your stops. Right? Like I took that to be self-evident, and clearly it isn't. Wow, that's so interesting. You never asked move to where? I moved them closer. No, that's a bullshit answer. If you move them closer, that's fine, Georgie. Don't be a fucking smart aleck East European, okay? People are suffering here, and you're putting salt in a wound. But yeah, that's fine. That's really good. You see me move my stops during a reversal trade? When did that happen? When did I do a reversal trade? When did that happen, Jay? I don't remember. I don't remember doing it in a long, long time. Getting out on a trade? No. Getting out on a trade no. If you're not vibing, it's fine. Getting out early in a trade is not a sin. Either taking a smaller loss or a smaller profit. Something is not vibing with you, or you got to go. Your wife is screaming at you, and you don't have a chance to manage the trade. Just get the fuck out. That's the whole point of having a small trade, is that you can get out of it any time. That's a completely different mechanic than the mechanic of like, ooh, let me move my stop. Because you know what happens after you move your stop? What's the next addict move? I'm going to have one drink. I'm going to have two drinks. Now give me the bottle. Give me the bottle, right? Give me the bottle. You know what the bottle is in trading? The bottle is, fuck it, I don't need stops. I'm lifting all stops. The market is either going to rescue me or I'm going to blow the account. How many of you have done that? No stops at all. Fuck it. Let me, the fuck it trade. So that's really interesting. Wow. Yeah, well, I honestly, it's not even that much to say. The stop issue. Maybe I just kind of taught myself after years and years and years of doing this shit that the number one reason you're going to blow your account. There's number one reason you're going to blow your account is you're going to move your stop. Number two reason is you're going to oversize it. But that's it. Those are the two big reasons. May says she's guilty. Don't move your stops, May. You just started with me. You were so good. You're like my favorite student here. My prize student. Please don't do that. Guys, let me rephrase this. When we're trading dots, which is a fucking scalp strategy, why the hell would you ever move your stop? It's a short-term strategy. It works. It works. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. There'll be 1,000 fucking trades after this. When it comes, right? Even now, it's been a half hour of just boring, and then probably in the next hour we're going to get duration, and there'll be 3 or 4 signals, and we can always, hit those trades. There's no signal on the Dow. I don't see anything on the Dow, guys, because I'm looking at my other structure. Maybe on MYM. No, I got nothing, baby. No signals on the Dow. No signals on NAS right now. We're just chilling. NAS has on the verge of turning negative. Dow is still monstrously positive as far as the charts go. Oh my God. Well, that's good. At least, today we get a chance to talk about I always thought, that there were other problems, but this is actually the really big problem. 5-point stop loss, 10-point TP. Sure. It will work 1 out of 10 times, Ryan. Maybe 2 out of 10 times. You do the math. Is there benefit trading? No, it's the same product. It's just a matter of sizing. Again, how do you want to size it? You're trading MNQ. If you trade NQ on a $25,000 account, your one loss becomes was it? It's 100. Oh, shit, I forget. You gotta make me do the math. If I'm making, hold on a second, let me just think this through. It's $250, I think, right? $250? No, I'm wrong. If I'm losing $500. $500. One loss, NQ on 25,000. You've lost a third of your equity exposure. So that's the difference between trading NQ and MNQ. It's just the same idea, just how much you're willing to lose. Yeah, so that's a great point. Santiago really makes a really, really good point. He says he's never tilted on stops, but he's tilted on sizing. I'm guilty of that. I'm absolutely guilty of that. There's two ways to tilt, right? There's two ways to binge, which I sort of totally forgot about the first way, which is lifting stops. Oh, we're getting a sell signal. Finally, legit sell signal in trend, $154. Let's see if the trade works. Unfortunately, so here's what we're going to do. It's 9:20. We generally have a no trade window, 9:25 to 9:35, right? So it's a little too close to comfort. So here's what I'm going to do to give myself the permission to trade, but at the same time, I'm going to minimize my risk. So instead of my standard two units, I'm going to go 1 unit on entry. So if I'm, first of all, the trade signal goes away. So maybe it's not even a signal. But if we get a signal, I'm going small again because we are 5 minutes to entry, shit time to trade, right? So, but it all goes away anyways. So I get nothing going on here. Yeah, well, it's interesting. But yeah, you're right, Santiago. There's two ways to tilt: size and stops. Fresno, California. Oh, really? Fort Pierce, Florida. Nice. Holy cow. What time? It's just like it's 6:15 in the morning, Jazz, huh? All right. Keep on trucking, my friend. Stay safe, please. Jesus Christ, Jazz, did you guys hear the story in Florida of that idiot trucker who decided to do a U-turn on an emergency exit and killed 3 people on the Florida highway. Have you guys heard that story? What a horrible story that was. Guy was like a illegal immigrant, got licensed in California, illegally. Couldn't they tried to test him on the basic laws. He didn't know any of the laws. It was crazy. Oh my God! Jazz says he was on that turnpike just hours before. Can you believe that? What a horrible story. Daniel is asking if you're the trucker that makes the videos about video. If Jazz, if you're making videos, you got to let us know. We got to watch your videos. Yeah, no, it's horrible. It was just like there's absolutely nothing you can say about that that will make that any better. Oh, we have so just letting you guys know, we're going back to the Dow. Dow's got a buy signal here, and again, much as I would love to take this thing, it's 5 minutes before the open. So I have to. I'm just I'm passing up on this signal. But what's interesting is where, again, if you look at the situation today, we're negative Nasdaq, positive Dow. It's like the third day in a row we're getting completely contradictory signals. So we'll keep this on both screens right now, because it's interesting to see how we're really getting contradictory signals here. And we're going to give it the next 5 minutes for the open to clear before we get stuff. Jazz says that there are a couple of, so Jazz says this is interesting for those of you guys who are just curious. There's 2 truckers that make videos, Bonehead Truckers and Mother Trucker on YouTube. So we should, and also OTR Trader. All right, cool. We'll take a look at this. So 5 minutes to the open. Wow, look at the flips, man. Big divergence between the Dow and Nas. Let's see who does what as we go forward. Been a pretty slow morning, guys. Right, really slow morning for us. But it is what it is. You know what I do want to do, since we're not going to look at the charts for the next 5 minutes, and I forget who. I think somebody was talking about that gold has been a really good trade. So this all goes under the woulda, coulda, shoulda title, which we're very famous for in New York. But this is exactly what I was talking about. We didn't trade gold today because I wanted to stick strictly to Dow and this, and maybe tomorrow when we trade gold, it's going to die. But this is exactly what I mean about duration, right? Look at this duration, 8 o'clock till 9 o'clock, a full hour of nothing but duration in a direction, and every trade here would have been a winner. Every trade here was a winner, right? All of these are with trend, and they were really clean trades. So, as I said, if I had the mirror in front of me to say, which of these instruments is going to have duration, it'd be super easy to trade. But that's just something to keep in mind, because this is something to understand. This is the absolute best. This is nirvana for us, okay? This is absolute nirvana for us as far as structure goes, because that's gives us all the signals we need for winning. Those of you guys who are new, who just are wondering, geez, why are they not trading? We just, the instruments today that we're choosing are not trending. They're just chopping around. But gold is the perfect example of the kind of duration trade we have that gives you lots and lots of stuff. So when we have a market that cooperates with us, we can get 5-6 trades in a row. Sorry. Yeah, this should be a screening system. I agree. Anyways, hopefully that will be the last of those type of accidents. Although I got to tell you, man, Florida definitely, a mind of its own. I can't tell you how many times I've driven down 95 around Fort Lauderdale, Miami, and I see guys flying on motorcycles, just flying 85, 90 miles an hour, doing planks. So they're like literally, like they're holding the handlebars and they're lying flat on the seat and they're just doing planks on the thing. All right, we're opening up. 28, 2 minutes to go. Positive signals on the Dow. NASDAQ turns positive. Let's see what happens. Wait, a blind client with a driver's license? That just sounds insane. Was it like maybe it was one of those non-driving driver's license, or did it actually give her permission to drive? That's crazy. All right, 9:29, minute to go. We're watching the price action. That's crazy. That is just crazy. Look at that NASDAQ. It's real. Look at the other thing. The other technical clue to not a great environment, and conversely, what's the technical clue to a great environment? Is moving average separation, right? A trade in an instrument in a good trend, like for example, YM is right now. Let's go back here, just to show you, just so you guys can see it. Has a wide separation between the short-term and moving average. That means it's sitting well above and it's resting. An instrument like NASDAQ, right, is just sitting tight. They're all sitting tight, right? Not a lot of movement on the separation. We're starting to get a little bit of separation now, as a matter of fact. So it could be interesting. Let's take a look and see. Oh shit, this is the ES. No, I want the NQ. Wait, sorry. We want to go YM in here. YM is really popping. And this is the NQ. Okay, market open. Big bursts of movement. But we wait until time passes by. NASDAQ is still choppy as hell. No signals. NASDAQ turning down. This is the classic pump and dump in NASDAQ, right? Somebody's asked me, what is the opening opening trade? We literally could make this into an opening trade. We've seen this so many times. The pump and dump, or the other way, dump and pump. There's just huge amount of imbalances at NASDAQ on the open, and the dealers love to take it one way and then completely reverse it the other way, right? So this is like just incredibly interesting as a reversal signal. I mean, we're like, what is that? 60-point reversal signal in one candle. Just complete dump on the move. So still try to be very patient. 31 seconds. 9:31. No signals. We're just trying to be quiet and chill out. Hey, what is Jazz? Were you trying to say FOMO, or is FOBO stand for something else that I'm not familiar with? Oh, let's pay attention. We have a Christmas tree trade, negative trend. Legit trade in NAS. If this holds, it's got to hold. Very often it does not, because they're going to retrace right back into the close. But if you got a $135, If this holds in the 60s, we're going to initiate. Let's make sure we initiate the original trade at 2060, and then we'll see if we can get, if we need to, we can go for a secondary trade. Go full screen just to give you better visuals on this. Still a minute 12 on the clock, so it's a long time to go. Oh, fake out breakout. Oh, I like that. The FOBO trade. Fake out breakout. Cool, cool, cool. I'm going to steal that. Or PMP, DMP, right? "33 seconds on the clock. Still watching this candle. Let's see if it reverses, and it does. Let's see if it holds the trade. Name of the indicator is BFF dots only. It's a private indicator that only available to my coaching, to everybody who's in my coaching. And the signal goes away. All right, so it goes away. Let's go look at YM. Interesting. YM actually is soaring. So this goes above the highs. It's going to give us a buy signal here, and a legit buy signal. We're going to trade the YM to the buy side if it rises above. Yeah, right here, minute 37 on the clock. So we're just gonna watch this carefully. We can actually switch over here because we can see it on wealth charts. The same signal is demarcated by this dot. As long as the dot stays here, we're going to get long this trade. This is a stop strategy, I guess. 51 seconds left. Dot still stays in place, but starting to come off the highs here. Let's see what it wants to do. "37 seconds. Now still pumping. The Dow still looks good. Waiting for the close. Going to wait for this candle to fully close because it's got a lot of volatility. I don't want to get faked out into a false signal. No, it's good. It's good. We're long. So we're long on this. What's my entry here? It's it's got to be MYM. MYMU. Why is this not? MYMU. Micro. Change this. So we're at 92. As you can see on the ladder, target is going to be 102. And we're done. And we're done. Trade gets done. So third trade in a row that we're hitting. Didn't have to come in on the second try. It was, it was all perfectly done on a trend basis. We could have obviously had these, but this was pre-market open, and we were careful in our access. So I'm being a lot more careful. I'm taking, probably 40% of the trades that I took before, but they're just much more accurate. And I think that's a much better way for us to operate. Sell signal on the Dow. So that's a trade. Let's watch that. 55 seconds left. Let's see if the Dow sell signal holds. Arnoon, the best way to join is with this link over here. I just posted the link for you, okay? The sell signal in the NAS goes away, so we got nothing over there. Yeah, I mean, you know, I've done the same thing sometimes, occasionally too. You want to be on a 2-minute time. We're trading a 2-minute time frame. We're trading 200 against 8 period SMAs. We're trading slope, momentum, and everything else. And allergies. Oh, look at this. The room is filling up. Hey, guys, say hello to me. New people in the room, say hello to me. Tell me where you guys are from. Tell me what you guys are trading. We just started the New York Open. We spent like an hour and a half twiddling our thumbs, but managed to win every trade that we did because we're just very selective. And also discovered that everybody in the fucking room pulls their stops, which shocked the shit out of me. So number one behavior we're going to try to correct everybody in the room is not to pull your stops. Actually, to be honest, if you're looking at the polls, 2/3. Keep voting in the poll. I'm still curious. You know, do you pull your stops? Be honest. Good day, James. Oh my God. Anybody have like chronic frigging allergies where they just continue sneezing their whole life? Just I despise that. And don't tell me to take allergy medicine because I will never do that. All right, Jazz, I'm going to make this very, very real for you. Pulling your stops is like driving without brakes. That's my analogy to everybody who's driving. Pulling your stops is like driving without your brakes. How many of you are stupid enough to do that? That maybe will make you stop next time when you're pulling your stops. Sell Christmas tree sell on the Dow, but that's against trend, so we're ignoring it. Go carnivore for 90 days. I pretty much am carnivore, you know. I ain't lying about what? About driving without brakes? I think that's a good analogy. I think that's the you got an NQ sell? Okay, coming up. Yes, we have an NQ sell. We've got a minute to go. Let's see if the sell holds. $1.05 on the on the clock. Let's see if the sell holds. We did finally break that 350 zone. $49 seconds left. Okay. 34 seconds left. Eight, 7, 6. We're gonna wait till the candle closes. Got to be very, very patient with this. 3, 2, 1, sell. We short this thing at 42. What is that? 48. So 53. I'm gonna go to 53 if I need to. Oh no, we're done. We're done. The trade got done very quickly. So good job. Another winner for the chicken dinner. So if you want to see how that happened, let me show you the course trading executions. So you can see on the execution here. What's going on over here? Did I screw this up? Hold on. Settings. Oh, what happened here? Oh, no. Wait, hold on. Why is this not showing me an execution? Settings, trading, execution. Okay. Am I on the wrong one? No. Well, that's really weird. What happened? Where's my execution? All right, hold on. Let me let's go to Trade Evade. What the fuck happened here? All right, let's go to Trade Evade. Oh, Vincent, yeah, it's going to come to Trade Locker for. So it was on. What's going on over here? 9 report. Today. Wow, that trade did not. What happened here? What did I not do that trade? Did it go in a different account? I'm really confused. All right. Anyways, you know what? Let's not worry about it. We got more sell signals. Let's go to the 9 account. Okay. And oh, there it is. It finally showed up. Jesus Christ! It finally showed up. It just took forever to show up. Okay, so we got another sell signal over here. $1.31 on the clock. It was just delayed. I'm sorry. I was like, where the fuck is the signal? Okay, so it did get done. 47 to 42 on the sell side. We got $1.22 starting to accelerate. Let's see if this is finally a move, duration move on the NASDAQ here. Yes, that's. I'm going to work on it today. We're going to try and get that organized for next week for DNA Funded. If you're using Trade Locker on DNA Funded, that's going to actually, a lot of people who are from Africa are going to be able to use that product really nicely. 43 seconds left here, guys. $25, $24, $21. We're through the 300, right? I said we might go to 200. Depending on how nasty it gets today, we could get maybe 23,000. 6 seconds left on the clock here. 2 seconds sell. All right, we're short in the position, and we're done. Boom, boom. That's the kind of trade I like. Boom, boom, and we're done on the position. So another pop. Oh, okay. Shit. I'm you know what I'm annoyed at? It doesn't matter, but I'm just a little bit annoyed at the size. You see this? My size was small because remember I said we wanted to go small before the open, and then I forgot to change my size to regular size. So, anyways, both of these are winning trades, but I only did them in half size, which is just mildly annoying. But still, half a loaf is better than none. So, bottom line is all these trades got hit, right? This trade, we had 3 trades in NASDAQ that I showed you. This is a winner, this is a winner, this is a winner. And then, of course, the trade in the Dow that was a winner too. And now we're looking at the Dow, see if the Dow gives us any signals, but so far nothing on that. No, Vincent, it's only going to be available with our broker DNA Funded on Trade Locker if I'm going to make it available. Okay. Good job, everybody, on that trade. Anybody take that NASDAQ trade with me? You guys took the NASDAQ trades? You know, you see, it's quiet, and then we start hitting the trades. Let me know if you guys took the trade. Good job, Jazz. You can go get a cup of coffee and a short stack of pancakes. Oh my God. Wait a minute. I gotta find this place. If you guys are in Florida, this is literally where is this place? Oh shit. Pancake Boca Raton. I gotta find this place. Anybody who's in Florida. Is it the original Pancake House? Is it this one? I think so. Yeah, the original House of Pancakes. Where's the location? Let me make sure. I just want to make sure I give you the other one. It is. Yeah, it's on Glaze Road. That's it. All right, man. This is the one. Let me show you. Wait, hold on. We have no trays right now, so I'm looking for pancakes for you guys. Yeah, this is the bomb. Holy shit. The greatest pancakes I've ever had. You guys see it? The original Pancake House in Boca. It is ridiculous. Now, the ones that I absolutely love is the 49ers. Holy shit. My son and I literally ate there every morning when I was there last night. That is just the greatest thing ever. So if you ever want great pancakes, that's my recommendation. Ben, you had a bad fill, but you repaired it. Good for you. Good for you on the second dip. Miguel got it. Good job. Andy got it. Okay, good job on that. Yeah, since I'm through on the screen, man, I'd love to. Literally, the greatest pancake ever. So now we're just really crashing. We just don't have the sell signals because now it's all momentum sells on NASDAQ. But again, this is really confirming what I was telling you about. Let me just take off the execution so you guys are not distracted. That yes, once we get duration, we get settings, executions. Okay. Once we get duration, we start getting really good clean signals, right? A moving average separation, duration on the short-term trend, everything kind of setting up for continuity move. Dow refuses to budge. We're still above trend here, still holding on. I love the 49ers. It's like a super thin pancake. It's like a just not thin enough to be a crepe, but not thick enough to be a pancake. So good. So freaking good. Good job, Daniel. All right, we're starting to turn quite negative, guys. Look at this. We took out almost 100 points on a desk. Remember I said to you guys we could go to 23,000? That's premature, but we're at 200 on a negative move here. Oh, really? Oh, so good. It's right off Glades, like a little bit above a little above the Florida Turnpike exit. All right, looking for setups here, guys. Let's see what we can do. All right. Either you guys are lying on your stops, or there's a lot more disciplined people than I thought, because the move your stops ratio now came down from the low 60s into the high 50s. So 41% of people say they never move stops, which is good. Like, if that's true, that's good. And even if it's not true, it's good, because it means you have the right intentions. Thank you so much, Jazz. Really appreciate it. A lot of people are having fun. I mean, what is more fun than trading futures, right? It beats the hell out of trading stocks, which is so boring, or trading FX, which is so boring. Don't tell Kathy I said that. She's on vacation, so she doesn't really care. Dow starting to slip into negative territory. We gave up to 45,000. 45,000 has been a really, really big area. So I'm actually kind of interested, because this 45,000 being a big area, if we started giving that back by a couple of 100 points, it really becomes interesting here. The only other drawback of our strategy is when you get super strong momentum. We're just literally getting 6 or 7 dots in a row. It's very hard for us to get. We don't have any pause. There's no pause here. This is just all swamp sell. They just swamp selling it right now. So we just sit back. We don't have a signal. What is the code on Dow for wealth charts? Same as anywhere else. It's YM or MYMU. U for September. You could. I mean, it's a completely different strategy. So 8 figures. My whole thing is we sort of we look for these well-timed position trades. But if you do find yourself in like a strong duration trade, you can just literally sell every red dot and be a winner 8, 9 times in a row. Yes, the biggest problem, of course, 8 figures, is you have to commit ahead of time to believing that this is going to be a big duration trade, right? So I actually think it's less difficult than sometimes we think it is, because you can certainly see that from key hours in a day when the markets begin to really shift their sentiment, you could catch these big waves. But that's it's a conversation for another time. Maybe it's a conversation for coaching and more advanced trading. For now, we don't really we can just trade the labels and be fine with that. Speaking of which, another pause and a sell label on a Dow. This is the 3rd sell label in a row, so probably the last of the signals for me for a little bit, because always we have the risk of selling the bottom or buying the top, and that that's just the nature of the beast. But if we do, we do. We can always pick it up on the next cycle and repair these trades. So far, the selling has gone away. We've had a lot of, went from basically 400 all the way down to 150, right? Really, just people are just now it's just short covering off the bottom. I don't think the selling is done, but we can be patient and wait for the sell signals to come in. Let me see if there's any news on the. Oh, wow. Jesus, Target is really getting shellacked. No signal, guys. Yeah, it is universal. NQ. It's always the symbol, which is NQ or YM or ES, followed by the month symbol, and the month symbol is September, which is U, followed by the year, which is 25. That's how you pick them up. And then if you're doing micros, you just put an M in front of that symbol. So MNQ, MYM, MES, MGC. No, I don't think there's any more updates on the indicator. It's pretty good as is. You know, Tony can't make fun of me every 5 minutes because, you know, he knows that I love to tinker and improve things. But I really, you know, I think it's pretty good as is. My next thing is just to actually, you know, make it work on Trade Locker, which is what I really want to do for those people. So that there's so many people in the room right now that want to trade these ideas, but can't do it. Can't do futures because they're not in a proper country. So we're going to try and solve that for them. Back to, you know, sell off to quiet. 10 o'clock. All right. Last hour of our trade. I'm going to put the music on for a minute. I'm just going to go get a cup of coffee and a little bit more water, and then we'll watch. We'll see. Right now I got no signals coming up. If you see a signal here and I'm not at the desk, you guys take it. But right now there's no signals, so we got 2 or 3 minutes. I'm gonna come off screen, play a little music for you guys, and then I'll be back in 2 minutes. Okay.
Precision move, sharp and clean. money machine. Scalp in seconds, slicing fast. Ride the wave, don't let it pass. Green and red, they set the tone. Win or lose, I'm in the zone. Trade the dots, connect the line. Profits calling, it's my time. Precision moves, sharp and clean. Living life on this money machine. Every tick's a heartbeat loud. High stakes play, I'm feeling proud. Risk and thrill, it's all the same. One more trade to up my game. Pivots turn, I'm locked and sure. Cut the losses, keep it pure. Every trend, I see the clues. I'll ride the highs and dodge the blues. Trade the dots, connect the line. Profits calling, it's my time. Precision move.
All right, guys. Buy signal in the Dow that I just took as I came back to the desk. If that comes in, where am I in? I'm in at 86, and we're at 76. I should be buying a little bit more. Let me buy more. All right, buy more, and we're going to try and resolve it this way. And see if the Dow works. May not work today. This one may not work on the resolve side, but anyways, we're in here. My stop is at, was it 86? So it should be 56. That's correct. That's correct. All right, let's see if it looks like the first loss of the day on the Dow as we get clipped. Because this buy signal was very, very tepid buy signal on the thing. In the meantime, definitely a sell signal on NAS, 24 seconds left, and that's a trade we're definitely going to take also. $15 seconds left on that. Let's make sure that stays clean, and we will take this signal too. All right, short this, and we're in at 40, and that gets done. That gets done very, very quickly. So much you can see how much better a signal it is in a deep sell condition. The sell signal was super easy here on the NAS. The buy was kind of a weak, it was a Christmas tree buy that just totally reversed on us, which is fine. And we'll see if the positive trend still holds. Because if you think about this, what's happening here is the slope was completely negative. And we probably should have passed up on this Christmas tree signal because the slope was very negative. But it's a Christmas tree, so I took it as an example of one of the setups that we do. But it was definitely a much weaker setup versus this setup, which was much cleaner and easier to take. Next coaching is Thursday. By the way, those of you guys that want to join coaching, here's the link. Here's the link for those of you guys who are new in coaching. All right. This is a very, very tough trade because we are just almost close to negative trend. but we do have a Christmas tree trade to the downside. So what we're going to do is we got clicked on this account. This is the other thing that we're going to do. We're going to go to a different account, and we're going to trade it from this side. We're going to trade it to the negative side. And usually it's very rare that we go from one side to the other side, but we're so close, and the dominant trade is to the downside that we have to, this is a legitimate trade for us to do if it holds, if the dot holds, if the candle holds over here. So we'll see. 4 or 5 seconds left here. 2 seconds left, short. Okay, so we're short here. I'm going to change the account to 14. Here's the position. Where's my position? And and it got done without me even trying. So this was a good example of 2 things that I did here. I first of all changed the account. Change, the moment you lose, change your environment. Don't torture the same account with more trades. You have a new idea, put it into a new account, because you don't want to hurt the patient that's already having a problem, right? So new account on the short side. We took the short trade, and they got filled very, very quickly on our target, and that's pretty much it. Anybody follow me on all of this? It was a lot of movement here, both, but basically this wasn't quite a downtrend, but it was enough of a move that I felt confident enough that we should try to give it a shot. And of course, that trade worked. And if you guys got a little bit late and you got a chance to repair the trade, it would have worked anyways. Now we're getting one more sell signal on the on the Nasdaq with 43 seconds left, and things are starting to pick up as far as price action goes. Let's see if this sell signal holds. Now this one is this is like the 4th one in the cycle. So, and it actually goes away here. Let's see if it holds for us. So when I'm getting 3 signals deep into the 1, 2, 3, we made money on all 3 of them. We probably need to just lower our size to give ourselves a little, take our foot off the pedal, right? Go back to our break analogy. So I'm going to sell this here. Sell it here, and go to try to resolve at 28.3. I am in at 16, so I guess if it goes up to, where am I in? Yeah, I'm in at 11. I guess I'm 20. I don't even know. I'm just totally lost here. It's hard for me to see on this trade. I don't know where I'm at. Shit. Where am I at here? It's hard to see. All right, I'm in this trade to the downside. I'm just going to take this prop. Come on, take this prop. Just take the prop. It's hard for me to see exactly what I did because I didn't have the full. As I told you guys, when I traded myself, I only trade like one NASDAQ trade. But the idea here was I should have come in. I came in at 13, and we sold one lot, sold the second lot. I think I got a little bit clipped over here. But regardless, I traded small here because this was the 4th signal. But had I done this properly, would have been it. We were in at 111. The target was 105. That would have gotten done. And then there was a secondary entry at 115 that would have gotten done too. So there's a lot of quick mess here to trade, but we got that done. But you see now how quickly the 4th sell signal is starting to pop back. You really have very little. You have just enough time. That's why I closed all these positions quickly, because I knew the possibility of reversal after 4 consecutive sell signals, very, very strong. So generally, the first 3 is where we optimize our trades, and then after that, we hold back. Now, in the meantime, we can turn back to the Dow, which did work for us, and see if we get any fresh sell signals going on over here. Oh, good. Fabio just funded at 50. Nice job. Was that off of NQ or was it off YM? Good job for you guys. Nice job. Oh, look at that. Look how nice this is. We started at 600 and we're at 700 now. So that's nice. That account is working. NQ, good for you. All right. So watching the Dow. Not much to do on the Dow here. So this is hard. I mean, this is really, really hard. I got to tell you, it's very tempting. Again, I think what we're going to do is, well, if I get the signal, I was going to say, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this at small size, because this is already going to be the 5th consecutive sell. So it's not like it's not impossible to have 6, 7 consecutive sells. It certainly is, but we all know that the farther it goes, the higher the probability of bottom ticking the trade. Anyways, even as it is, it doesn't look like it's going to give me a sell signal. So be that as it may, it looks like we kind of bottomed out a little bit over here for the time being. I do think there's still going to be plenty of sell signals in NASDAQ. This is just a pause that refreshes. But for now, it's prudent to be a little cautious on the sell side, because we took all the good trades. We took this one, we took this one, we took this one, we took this one. So now we can really, just pause out a little bit on this. And more importantly, I'm actually kind of curious to see what the Dow wants to do. Yeah, Fabio, let's give Fabio the chicken. I've been so busy, I haven't had a chance to give the chicken. Chicken dinner, baby. And raining coin and raining money. Good job for Fabio. Finally getting a sell signal in the Dow. So let's go back to our wealth charts. And as long as this little purple dot hangs, we got a sell signal. We're going to try and trade the Dow. What account is this? We're in the 14. We're good. 33 seconds left on the candle. So waiting patiently on the Dow here. Do we take out 900? Maybe. 24 seconds left. Oh. Those of you guys who are like new for the first time, one of the things I hope you guys kind of like, or at least appreciate, 5 seconds left, 4 seconds left, waiting, sell. All right, we're short here. What's my position? I am in at 901 and I got to go sell. Oh, shit. I'm selling more. Did I sell 2? Now I got to bring this back down and bring this up. See if my thing gets. And that got resolved. Okay, fine, good enough. We got that resolved on a little bit of a sloppy fashion. And I'll be the first one to admit to you guys, I have not properly set up. Look at it. It totally works. I haven't properly set up the Dow structures on wealth charts, because each one of these trading platforms has a little bit of a different functionality. With TradingView, sorry guys. With TradingView, I can do these little drop-down menus, right? And because I know these are all preset drop-down menus, I know exactly how to angle them. With wealth charts, what I need to do, and I'll do this tomorrow, is you actually have to have, I believe, 2 tabs, and one tab is going to have 20 stop, 15 target. The other one is going to have 30 stop, 10 target. And so the second one, when I would have entered, the stops would have been the same. I wouldn't have had to adjust my stops. And then I would have just simply had to adjust my targets. Because I had to adjust both my stops and targets, it got super fast. So I didn't get it. I got made a sloppy resolution. But you get the idea. Bottom line is, directionally, we were absolutely correct. We got that done. The technique always can always get a little bit of better technique. Hopefully, those of you guys who took it got it done. But oh, sorry. Oh my God. But to do this properly, I need to have actually two tabs, right? As a matter of fact, I think what I can do here is let's do this so that we can do this now. I think I can I duplicate this? Let me see. But isn't there a duplicate chart here? Oh, duplicate chart. I knew there was one. Okay. So we want to put it over here, right? Okay. So here's the second chart. Here's the first chart. Here's the second chart. I want to add, where's my trading panel? Expand trading bar. Here's a trading bar. Okay. Awesome. So we have two charts, two trading bars, and this second trading bar, the one that I would set up, this would have simple bracket at, again, this is the key thing. It's going to be 15 ticks and stop is going to be 20 ticks. And if I do that, that's going to close this up. So next time I do a double, if I have to do a double trade entry, it would perfectly align all those things for me on the chart. Why is this? Well, that's weird. Did this not? Wasn't this a sell? Why this one is? I'm just wondering why. Oh yeah, we were over here. We were over here, I think, right? Yeah. Yeah, this is 11. Oh, this is 11. I'm like, where's my chart? Okay, yeah. I got confused of where I was. Yes, so this was the right signal, and this was the correct thing. Okay. Anyways, a little bit convoluted examples. But we're using the same account, two tabs, and now we're perfectly set up for the next DAO setup. We can totally manage it with one single click entry. So I just I didn't have this properly set up here. Counter trend trades. This is obviously clearly well below trend. So even if this works, this is a bad trade. I'm just telling you this right now. This is not a trade we take. We used to say, oh, this is, let's take them all. But this is a low probability trade, even if it works. This one is this is not a terrible trade, but not a great one because we're still below. You can see over here, we're still below trend, right? We're still negative trend. So taking this trade, the only reason why this trade has a little bit more probability to it is because the trend separation is very, very small. So you can't really claim this is a big downtrend, but here it's a big downtrend, and this is nothing more than just a V-shaped recovery in the NAS, which could work for a quick pop, but not a high probability trade. Should we take the Dow for a spin? We could. Let's just we'll do one contract on this one and one contract on this. We'll do small brackets on this just to kind of play around with the new structure and kind of let you guys see. So this is not a good buy trade, but not a horrible buy trade. So I'm buying market here. And where's my position? My position is at 55. If it goes 65, great. If it comes down to 45, I'm going to go over here to buy the secondary position. Okay, so I'm going to buy the secondary position. Now, this just sort of gives you, this is much more about showing you the mechanics of the trade and letting the mechanics play themselves out. Oh, So as I said, if it gets down to 45, we'll be buying the second tranche of this, which is right there. It was almost there. All right, we're in. I'm in a second tranche here. And here you can see that my stops are pretty aligned. And here's my targets. And I can just move my target over here and see if I could, resolve the whole trade on the target. It's a lot easier to manage the trade once the stops are aligned and all you're moving is the targets. Now, it may not. As I said, this was sort of a counter trend trade, but close enough to the ballpark. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. I'm taking a very, very small position on this, just more for demo purposes than for high quality purposes. But we'll see. We'll see if it if we manage to resolve this trade. Oh man, doesn't look like it. Looks like we're going to slip around, and that's why you don't want to take counter trend trades, even if they're close. Because they're just not going to be as high probability as trend trades. But at least you see how you could try to resolve the trade. You could try to manage it. And if you are going to play around with this, obviously the best defense is smaller size, so that if you do get clipped, it's just a nick and not a big cut. Yes, it's definitely for the same account. It doesn't look like we're gonna get. We're clipped on this tiny little trade, and so be it, because it was a negative. It was a negative trend, right? It was a negative trend, right? And we just now we leave it alone. Now, if we get a sell signal in this, then we're ready to go. Trying to see what the if the Dow finally starts to move down towards the 44,800. We kind of we're still fighting this 4,500 support, which has been a really, really strong support for the Dow. And I'm trying to see if they finally break, because I think if they break it, this thing is going to be a couple of $100, points to the downside, going to give us some nice nice trades. Slope on the YM is turning negative. So now we have like these preconditions for a possible sell trade that we can start working as thing goes. The way I play this, Rick, the way I do it is I don't make it too complicated, because I'm basically, the way I trade it is I trade one account on trend, just whatever trend signals are on that trend. If trend now is trend 2 hours ago was long, it's going to be long signals. Trend now is short, it's going to be short signals until I hit a loser. Then I switch to the other account and I trade that. Then I come back to the original account and try to repair it. So I give it's more important to just pause the losing account. That's the single most important thing, rather than trying to manage trend, counter trend, all that kind of stuff. What happens is it's too much work. You will lose focus. The focus is on taking only high quality trend trades, right? When you don't do that, that's when. By the way, speaking of trend trades, we have a sell condition in NASDAQ here on a Christmas tree sell again, with trend. So we can watch that, see if that occurs. Yeah, I'm trying to, basically, I realized, the less we have to think, the less we have to decide. There is the other aspect of bioneurology is you get a tremendous tax, a tremendous strain, the more things you have to keep in mind. That's why, they say, you have to be disciplined. Willpower is what you need. Willpower is the worst thing you can have, because after you practice willpower for an hour, you're exhausted to do anything else, and you will give in. It's just a biological fact. We're pumping so much adrenaline against our instincts that you eventually weaken your whole system to making bad decisions. So the point is not to create lots of complicated structures for willpower. Just keep it very, very simple. Win, great. Now, I hit a clip, I go to the other account, and I just go, I just trade the other account, and that's it. All right, 17 seconds left on this. 13 seconds left on this. Let's make sure. Excuse me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Short. Where am I at 91 and very close here. They got done very, very fast. I'm sorry I'm not showing you like the really, really big screen. It's because I'm trading two screens together. As I said, when I trade myself, I have just a huge visual on just that one instrument. I can see everything that's going on. But anyways, this is like the 7th or the 8th trend trade that proves itself, right? Now, the only thing that I'm really interested in over here is, can we get a trend trade in the YM? That would be like the final nice clean trade for us. And even though this trade worked, right? I told you this trade could work. It doesn't matter. It really was a bad trade. It was a reflex trade that basically, you see how it made a big UE? It was not a high probability trade, but every one of these trades, boom, 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 they all hit. It's not a big edge, but it's a big enough edge that it really creates a difference between winning and losing for everybody who's watching this. So just to show you, because I don't have any signals now, we're starting to really accelerate. We accelerate to the 800 level without giving me a single entry signal. It's really a little bit of frustrating here on the Dow. But be that as it may, just to show you on NASDAQ all of the trades, so you guys can just follow all the signals. Here's all the executions, right? This was a positive trade to the upside, negative trade. I wonder if I could get this bigger. I guess you could see, yeah, you could see it bigger. Negative trade here, sell trade here, sell trade here, sell trade here, sell trade here, and sell trade here. So literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 winning trades in a row by just being extraordinarily disciplined or extraordinarily focused on making sure that we stay with trend, right? That's it. And come back to normal, 100%. And now we come back to here and we go back to the Dow. Now I'm just going to look at the Dow right now because I want to see if we can get one last Oops, let me see this. One last trade in here. Oops, sorry, on the wrong one here. This one. Minute 4 to go on the clock. Doesn't look like we have a trade here, but we'll stay patient because maybe the next candle or the candle after that is going to give us a sell signal, and we're going to try and trade the the Dow. Oh, counter trend move. Dow pops. Thank you, Jess. Have a great day. Enjoy. Thank you very much. So what I was going to say is, when we got completely swayed by all the trading, those of you guys who are new and kind of looking at this and going, wow, this is kind of interesting. It's very different from what most people do, which is like they take one position and they hold that position and it either wins or loses, and that's their whole trade, which is fine. It's totally legit way of trading. The difference is that, as you can see, by doing lots of small trades, we're constantly trying to hit as many winners as possible. Those winners build up. They build up to a really nice P&L, and we have the high degree of confidence that almost every single day we're going to be net positive. So our account grows continuously. It's kind of it's an approach called trading for income versus trading for capital gains, right? We're not looking to hit home runs. We're looking to just, for everybody who's an American and for everybody who's not, I'm not even going to bother trying to explain it to you. We're just trying to hit as many bunts and put as many runners on base and just create as many runs as possible, because that's what we're doing. We're trading the old-fashioned way. We're not trying to hit home runs. There's no slugging. There's just only batting over here. Santiago, $588 today? Is that? Oh no, $88 today. Sorry, I misread. Nice job. Nice job. But you came back from negative positive. That's actually better. The greatest thing in trading is not to win, but to come back from a loss. The more you can do that, the higher confidence you're going to have that you can do this for a long time. Is always much, much better to come back from a loss than to continually win. Continually win is easy. To come back from a loss, that's the true skill in trading. So good job for you. I'm glad you had a good day. I'm glad that worked out for you. All right, I'm just staying very, very patient here, looking for any kind of a sell signal. The Dow has kind of stalled on us. We're going to give it another 5-10 minutes, see if we can get a signal out of Dow, and then we'll go for from there. It doesn't look like it. It looks like we kind of bottomed out on a very, very small. You see, the Dow just does not want to go down, right? It's really, really holding bid here. Let's see what happens next. No, still to the upside. $40 seconds left. Very, very quiet market. Not much going on here. Nas also really, really quieted down. So remember, like this has been a trend in August where we actually like slowed down into the 10, 30, 11 hour and kind of just tread water until 11, 11:15, and then you get the European close, and we start to get the moves. All right, we kind of done out here, guys. We did a lot of good trades. The most important part, I think I showed you, is how well the NASDAQ trades did. You know, it's really actually kind of surprising at how little we did. We did about 8, 9 trades. Usually, given, you know, marathon, sometimes we do 20. But we did less, but more. This was all clean profit. Like literally the account here is almost to 800. We started at around 600, right? Just in very, very small positions. And I had a couple of positions that were ultra small, right? The Dow was a lot choppier. And, you know, the Dow is a lot choppier because it really hasn't had a clean definitive. It had a sort of a big transition phase from positive to negative. So we were only able to catch just a few of these trades. And we still have a lot to go in the Dow. But we'll see tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll see what we can do if we catch a couple of good signals in the Dow, how we can trade those. But overall, I think it's been a pretty good day. Lee says she just did 700 in one account, 400 in another, going back from $300 loss. Good. I mean, good. You guys are doing a good job. A couple of people came off the losses, so it's really nice to see that. And all of you guys who are new, please come join us. We trade every single day on Marathon Wednesdays, usually for like 2 or 3 hours, where we explain everything. And the really cool part is come join us on coaching. Let me give you the coaching link again. Here's the coaching link, and you can see it. Where's my coaching? Here's the pancake house, the most important part. But no, let's go to coaching. I want to show you. So the cool thing about coaching that you get is you're going to get the indicator, which is the most important thing. Without it, you can't trade. You're going to get Kathy's indicator, which if you want to trade FX and get all the FX stuff, that's totally free, Bronlin. And I will refund you back 97, so you can go out there and buy as many Apex accounts as you can. So you basically get funded with free accounts if you start doing that. Oops, I just missed another sell signal in the NASDAQ, but we'll take the next one coming up. Am I coming back to Fed minutes? No, I'm not gonna trade the Fed minutes. We're gonna trade just regular trade tomorrow. We're gonna trade tonight. For those of you guys who want to be in Asia with me, we're gonna trade CFDs tonight. Gold is moving, so maybe we get a lot of movement in gold tonight in Asia. That'll be a good trade, and that's pretty much it. I will see everybody tomorrow if you want to join me tomorrow, or I'll see everybody tonight in Asia. Everybody have a great day. Thank you again for hanging out with us, and I hope you guys hit them all when you trade the rest of the day. Everybody have a good day. Bye-bye.